Hey there, Scott Beebe of the Business on Purpose platform, doing one thing today, and that's liberating you, the small business owner, from the chaos of working in your business. As always, thanks for joining us on the Business on Purpose podcast. Got a really powerful question from a small business owner recently who basically was saying this: I don't know how to lead people because I never went to college and I've got a learning disability. So I want you to listen to that question. I don't know how to lead people because I never went to college and I have a learning disability. Okay, so we think about those things. I was recently reading a great book by Jay Samit, Disrupt You, and in it, he reflects back on a study that links entrepreneurs and learning disabilities, particularly dyslexia. And the study was done by Cass Business School in London, and what they found was 35%, get that, 35%, one out of every three U.S. small business owners surveyed identifies themselves as dyslexic. So line them up. Line up 10 business owners, 3 of them are going to be dyslexic. And go back to the question: how can I lead people? I've never been to college and I have a learning disability. You know, he makes a great point in the page just before that, and he says, he's talking about a Dr. Sally Shaywitz, who teaches at Yale University and really has spent an entire career studying dyslexia and creativity. And what she said is, through the study, she has been reclassifying dyslexia as a learning gift instead of a learning disability. I heard Simon Sinek talk about it in a podcast, where he had mentioned and began to reclassify ADD as really nothing more than a real gift of hyperfocus. But we classify it as ADD. I was with a group of freshman boys this past Friday morning. We meet most Friday mornings. And we were talking about a study that was done, a Bible study that was done by Tim Tebow. And in it, he told a story where he visited a group of people in, it's one of the eastern countries. I cannot remember. I don't remember if it's in Indonesia or Myanmar, one of those in the east. And as they were going through and speaking, they had come across this child who had malformed legs. He literally said his legs looked like they were on backwards. And his legs being on backwards, everybody else looked at that as a deformity. And it got me to thinking, what if his legs are on straight and the rest of us, we have our legs on backwards? But because all of our legs are on backwards, we call that normal. And the reality is he's retrained himself to be able to walk and run with, quote, backwards legs. There was an interesting YouTube video of a group of engineers who played a hoax, as engineers do on each other. They can't tell funny jokes, so what they do is they re-engineer stuff as kind of practical jokes. So they took a bicycle and they adjusted the gears on the actual handlebars so that when you turned right, the wheel did not turn right, but it turned left. And inevitably, every single person that have ever asked to ride this bike from the get-go has never been able to do it, ever. Until finally somebody decided that they were going to devote time and attention to riding the bike backwards, riding the bike differently. And lo and behold, that person became so good at riding this, quote, backwards bike that they couldn't ride a bike that was, quote, normal. So you've never been to college. You've got a learning, quote, disability. What if all of those are just excuses to get you out of doing the hard work? To say, you know what? What if your never having gone to college gives you a perspective on life that those of us who have gone to college doesn't have? What if your learning what they classify as disability is actually a superhuman capability? What if instead of looking at these as marks against you, instead you looked at them as assets to have? Whatever you've got going on, whatever malady, whatever disability you claim to have, as a small business owner, I want to challenge you and encourage you to turn that into a value-added asset, to encourage you to see that as something you've been given that many people have not been given. And so you're a minority elite. You're unique. And begin to really live that out and reclassify what you see as a disability and turn it instead into a gift. And you know, it's not just for you. As a people leader, What's it going to take for you to begin to reclassify what you see as fault in others as a real asset that you can leverage to push the mission and the vision of the organization forward? You may not even know what your vision is, but you can go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision. We provide the tools and you provide the sweat. It's all right there. You put in the hard work. And guess what? Not once when you sign up for that free tutorial and free template do we ask you if you've ever been to college, and we never ask you if you have a disability, because it's irrelevant. What's relevant is taking the gift that God's given you and putting it into action. I appreciate you joining us on the Business on Purpose podcast. Make sure to go check that out, mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision. It's our gift to you as long as you're willing to put in the work. Have a great day.